Welcome to the Sawblade 666 YouTube channel. I'm Daniel Sawblade.
And I'm Cartoon Ryan.
Today we're taking a look at a Lobo graphic novel called Fragtastic Voyage, written by Alan Grant, and the artist on this book is Hermann Mejia.
Mejia.
I'm not sure how you say this guy's name. He's from Venezuela.
Yeah.
I picked this up it was in '97, and I was still kind of on a high from the early '90s Lobo with Beasley, and he left the book and was doing other things at that time. I think he was doing a lot of stuff for heavy metal, so he wasn't doing any Lobo by this point that I could see or remember, but I found this randomly at the comic book store back then and immediately fell in love with the artwork. And today, I looked this guy up. I reread this book because it had been a long time. And I remember loving it the first time I read it. It literally made me laugh out loud. Like, I bursted out laughing. It's so funny. Alan Grant is amazing writer, and the art fits it perfectly.
Yeah,
it's so cool that they picked this guy to do this book. I think Beasley could have done just as good a job, obviously, but this guy really fits the story. But I looked him up and I was trying to find other comics that he did, and I didn't really see anything. He's really known for his kind of fine art paintings now. The dude's only like a couple years older than me.
Okay.
So every time I see somebody that's around my age that just, because this blew me away almost 30 years ago, it still blows me away.
Yeah.
And it always like makes me feel like, oh man, I need to up my game, get my chops more solid, because it's just so advanced, and now thinking that this dude was like,
he was in his 20s,
early 20s, pulling this off, because it's a very it's like I'm assuming it's like a watercolor kind of washed out look. It's not fully painted as in like acrylic or something like that, but because it's got kind of a when watercolor's on paper and it kind of has that just
splotchy look.
Yeah, that splotchy look, exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I was just trying to decide what to talk about, and I came across this and thought, let's talk about this. And although as we're looking through this, not that the story is super involved or complex, I'm not going to do a complete walkthrough and commentary of the story. I'm gonna focus on key parts and give like a general synopsis. I just say get this book if you're into Lobo and you don't already have this one. Get it. It's a great story and great art. But I will say Fragtastic Voyage, and it's a play on the story, and the title's a play on Fantastic Voyage. I think it's Fantastic Voyage, which is which is a movie from the 60s.
Yeah.
Do you know about it?
Was that the one? Do they go inside the body?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm.
Yeah, I watched that when I was a kid. It was hilarious.
It's really funny. Yeah. I think it's called Fantastic.
I think
Voyage.
so. Yeah, where they go inside the body.
Yeah. This is a
they shrink them down and they go.
That's a play on that 60s movie.
Oh, okay.
It's a their version of it. And it also reminded me, because in the 80s there was a kind of a retelling of that story with Inner Space.
Yeah, I remember that too.
With Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid, I think.
Yeah, and Martin Short.
Yeah. One of the Quaid dudes. Was
Yeah,
in
I think it's Dennis Quaid.
And I loved that movie as a kid.
Yeah.
So when I saw this, I was like, "Oh man, I was sold." I was like, oh, "Okay, this is going to be good." So I took it home, and did I ever show you this? Do you ever remember
I've
this?
never seen this before.
It's great, man. This dude has, first of all, his anatomy is top notch. His sense of color, the character design. I'm assuming that Alan Grant just wrote a script. I don't think DC works in what's called the Marvel method, where there's a small plot or synopsis, a brief synopsis that's just given to the artist, and the artist just draws the entire story. But even so, even if it was a script, you could tell there was a lot of imagination put into these panels with the character designs, and just his choices with how to depict the action and storytelling.
Yeah.
It's really good. So anyway, Lobo's. Oh, I wanted to say too, another cool thing. I did read that he was friends with somebody. The artist was friends with somebody from DC, or knew somebody that knew somebody at DC. This was back in the day when you could still walk into their offices with their with your portfolio.
Yeah.
And he had some of his work with him, and they hired the dude on the spot.
Wow.
And he's perfect for this book.
Yeah.
So they may have, like, whoever hired him was like, I know exactly what I'm going to put this dude on. And Lobo, to me, I'm assuming this is this dude's take on it, because minus he always has the chain wrapped around his forearm, but this whole get-up here is kind of unique to this story, because I normally don't see him with this type of get-up, really, but really cool. Right off the bat, the blurring effect he's achieving with these paints, like the out of focus look, compared to in the background,
the rail in the front.
It's like an out of focus camera look. It almost could look something somebody would do in digital nowadays. But it's painted. But yeah, Lobo's hired to help this alien race save their leader, who is the only one that has the ability to stop this world war from happening, like this other alien race that's about to attack the alien race that's hiring Lobo to help them. So the plan is to miniaturize Lobo along with a doctor to help with a surgery involving a blood clot in this alien's brain, their leader.
Okay.
So, and then just this wild ride ensues when that happens. But the anatomy.
So I was about to say, I really like the inside diagrams of the alien body. That's impressive.
Look how much character, and just how I don't know if you can see that, but how much personality that he's able to convey with this art. I also was impressed. I remember looking at this back then, like, here's this chart, he's pointing at this alien anatomy, and he even got the angle, like, correct. Like all the details that are here are in this extreme angle, like looking down at the chart. Like, I don't know, that's always been impressive.
That's an amazing perspective.
So he's explaining to to Lobo what the mission's going to be, and so he's saying what the process is going to be. He's going to be miniaturized, and then they're going to inject him into the alien's ass cheeks, and Lobo's like, why don't you just put me directly into the brain? And he takes like some kind of instrument from the doctor's table and just shoves it into.
Jeez.
It's just like random violence into like one of the guy's helpers. Like
just destroys them.
It's like the stretching of the skin and eyeballs flying out, and it just decides to shove it into that guy's, head. He kind of flips out about it. But anyway, he's like asking Lobo like something about if he's up for the job, or there's an issue of trust here or something. And it's like, wow, something about blind faith and the 17 planets and 100 billion lives depend on it, and you're trusting me to save them. Not quite alone, Mr. Lobo. So he's having some help, and then they introduce the surgeon to him. But he's like, he just wasted this guy.
Yeah,
he's gonna go help him get save 17 planets with like 100 billion people after he just offs somebody. Yeah. But great character design. Of course, Lobo, he's getting kind of hot and bothered here with the hot surgeon lady.
Yeah.
And then they introduce the other guy on the team, which is Gold Star, who turns out to be like this cuck, like milky, lame, suck-up guy. And, they kind of both fight for the affection of this surgeon. And I don't know, it's a funny story. Yeah. It's entertaining. But minus just aside from the story, though, the book is wonderfully illustrated, and I've always enjoyed looking through it. There's small details like, is Lobo looking at her ass while she's going into the ship, and he's laughing or smiling.
Yeah.
I love the ship design, and down to the detail of, like, look at the shoes, and they're split, like cloven or like like a hoof or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's clever. Like alien sneakers.
So he shrinks the ship and injects them into the alien's butt. And so the other race of aliens is trying to do battle with these aliens that Lobo and this little team are trying to help out, catches wind of it, and so they decide they're going to do something about it and chase after these guys. But again, look at this like alien design. It's like really animalistic, like I don't know, kind of a cross between a crocodile and a pig, kind of.
Yeah, it's really
weird,
really fucked up looking.
It is. Look, there's the underneath of that shoe, which is really weird.
I was looking at that as well. Yeah, the tread for the shoes, that's really cool.
But comedy ensues. I mean, it's just so funny.
Yeah, for Lobo, you have to do it. It's just part of it.
I was really impressed with, like...
Yeah, the insides of the vessels.
This background.
Yeah.
Look how amazing that looks.
Yeah, that's really cool.
This reminds me of the movie, like, From Beyond. Had, like, this color and this weird...
I also like
texture
the
in it.
ship, the view of it.
Yeah, and it's moving because it's leaving that wake behind it.
Yeah.
Like, it's really cool. So Lobo's being a perv, and he keeps flirting with this lady that's, telling him to stop, and Gold Star's getting in between to be a hero to save the lady, and she's like, you're being watched, and he's like, oh, am I? And he smashes the video, the camera or whatever, like, and it fucks their communications up, so they can't contact him now because Lobo smashed the equipment, and she's, warning him, hey, stop that shit or I'll blow your brains out.
Yeah.
And Gold Star's like, yeah, don't fuck with her. And he's like, if I need your help, I'll let you know. Like,
Yeah, she's like, I can handle myself.
Yeah. But, man, these little these are like little parasites in the body that are, not parasites.
Basically, his white blood cells. Almost.
Right.
Yeah.
White blood cells that are attacking the foreign object. Yeah. Look at them like, covering the ship.
Mm-hmm.
I love the eyeballs.
Yeah, that's really cool.
But every facial expression, I was always really impressed with, like, the facial expressions.
Yeah, he contorts them really strong. And one thing that's really interesting, too, is a lot of the panels have minimal to no backgrounds, but it's really cool because the characters pop out really hard. It's like the only focus is the characters. But then when he adds backgrounds, they're pretty strong. Like this one, I mean...
Yeah, and I think, like, if you look, there's always enough in, like, maybe previous panels to show, like, what's happening.
Yeah, it's cool that he can do that, but it still flows nicely. You know?
It's telling a story. For
sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, that guy's body's hilarious, though.
It's really funny.
It's like fat and muscular at the same time.
Yeah, his power is to, like, I forget what it's called. He's got his little. His powers to pacify.
Okay.
So it's like, let me shoot rainbows and little cupcakes and puppy dogs, and look at Lobo's reaction to it all.
Yeah.
He's like, whoa.
Yeah, that's pretty weak.
Like, you saved our lives, and he's jealous and ends up blowing up the blood cells, even though she said not to, which screws things up.
Of course.
And then
hey, look at that face.
It's so funny.
That's really funny.
A sensitive song comes on they turn the radio on, and then he's listening to the lyrics.
Yeah, and he's in deep thought over it. That's really funny.
So I think what part of the body they're in now. But yeah, it describes, like, where they're going. I think they're approaching the heart, the aorta. So you can see, like, the valves gushing open.
Wild, man.
Great facial expressions.
Yeah, he really is a master of that.
It's so good. Everything's just so cartoony but realistic too.
Yeah.
I love that.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's funny as hell.
He sprung a leak there. It's just it's a wild story.
Yeah.
I wish I could do a better job, like, summarizing it and verbalizing it, but we're here for the art. I'm just kind of going through the panels and remembering key things about the story that popped out.
Yeah.
But I'm just really overwhelmed with his use of lighting and again, the facial expressions. They're just so animated and expressive.
Yeah, he's able to convey the emotion and the atmosphere just by those faces.
And every angle that the heads are in, really, just those expressions still translate well.
Mm-hmm.
His anatomy, his knowledge of anatomy, is so strong that when he distorts it, it still looks right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, very similar to Beasley in that aspect.
Yeah.
So cool with these character designs again.
Yeah.
Now they're approaching the, I think it was like kidney.
Wow.
This chapter's called Kidney Failure.
Oh, dude. They're basically like a kidney stone all of a sudden.
Yeah. So this other race of aliens have an interest in this. They show up, and apparently they are able to. Apparently, like, there's these magic numbers or some kind of equation that has a number that if you say it will cause like a something the equivalent of like a nuclear explosion or something. I don't know. That's like a weapon that they're going to use to like save themselves from this attacking alien race. So they show up, and Lobo ends up giving them a hard time about it. Look at this like creepy looking like hole with these aliens at the top.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
peeking through. Weird.
That's really cool.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
that's
they're not aliens. They're I think it's like part of his brain or something.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's a trip, man.
They're supposed to reach the brain to help out with or get rid of the blood clot. Look at this brain matter here.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
They're going to basically just turn his brain to mush.
Yeah. Yeah, which I think is what's happening here.
Yeah, they're
Look at the
lobotomizing
nasty
him,
fluid,
basically.
like.
Yeah. That's crazy. Look
Look
at
at
that.
the muck on them.
I like that.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's like a map of where they're at. So they go to the ship where those other aliens are, those interdimensional aliens. So Lobo just decides to just start slaughtering them. And the violence is really funny up there.
Of course.
Really funny. Look, he's like biting that one and pulling it apart.
Good
You can see like the
God.
intestines spilling out.
Brutal.
It's so cartoony, but realistic. Like,
Yeah. Nah, he's really capturing the spirit of Lobo here with all of this.
so what you doing, big guy? Oh, scanning for the brain area that holds the secret of the exploding numbers. Find it? Yes.
And then
Thanks, dude. He like smashes him with one
with
finger.
one finger. That's hilarious.
Look at the anatomy
Yeah.
again.
Veins.
The forearm muscles and the bicep and the way he draws the hand.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it's perfect. It's perfect. I love that. I love that face. I don't know if the camera can pick that up, but it's that glossy paper, guys. But yeah, his head's starting to swell here. It's about to explode.
Brutal, man. Oh, fuck.
And so since they miniaturized the other two,
Yeah.
they miniaturized the other two guys, so it's just Lobo coming out, and he explodes.
Brutal. From the dude's
from
head.
the dude's head, and you can see like there's his bottom jaw.
Yeah.
There's an eyeball. The motion of it,
Yeah.
right? It's like he.
And I love the splatter all over.
It's done so well. Look at his face
Yeah.
here.
It's hilarious, man.
They're asking him if he got the secret numbers. And he's gonna up his like price because he got what they needed and then some. But as he's saying what he needs, he like, oh shit, and then they blow up.
Oh.
Yeah. But somehow, I forget how he survives. He survives somehow.
Yeah.
But the other two that got miniaturized
Yeah.
are in Lobo's ear. So that's his
my
like
God.
ear.
So they're
yeah.
they're in his ear.
Yeah, and so he hears them. He's like, what the fuck, So I was like, I hear voices and I feel something. So then he like, I guess says like says one of the or starts to say one of the magic exploding numbers, and then it blows his head off.
That's brutal, man.
Look at the face here where he's digging in his ear
Yeah.
with his mouth. It's like really funny.
Yeah, he's really good at capturing expressions, man. That's amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
And you've never heard of this guy? Huh?
No.
I might have shown you this back then. I don't remember. It's been so long.
I remember seeing the Bisley Lobo stuff, but not this guy. He kind of captures the spirit of it, though, the Bisley Lobo. I'm not saying it looks like it, but it's that same kind of feeling.
Yeah, it's
It
definitely
has
his
that
style.
feel to it, though.
I think it fits it.
Yeah.
It's definitely his style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The alien president needs emergency microsurgery. The beautiful surgeon must be miniaturized and injected into his brain, but she can't go alone. She needs a bodyguard, so they send Lobo to protect her. Good idea, huh?
No. Yeah.
Everything just ends in chaos.
Always with that
Lobo.
guy. Yeah, that was cool, man.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I thought it'd be fun to flip through that.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you guys like what we do here, you enjoy the video, and you want to see more cool books and comics and just general art talk, be sure to like and subscribe. We got more videos on the way.
Yep.
And a bunch of cool other stuff coming up.
Yep. And we go live every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central
Yep.
Time and do live drawing and chat live stream. So
Yeah.
it's always fun. Come hang out with us. See you next time.
Take care.
Thanks.
Bye.